So that was your Survivor Series build, huh? That was your Survivor Series build. How many shills in the community are going to get all excited? Throw your hands in the air and get all excited about SmackDown invading Raw. How many of you got excited about SmackDown's women's division invading Monday Night Raw? I know I didn't. I didn't at all. Oh, JD, you're sexist. Oh, JD, you hate women. I didn't. I didn't at all. You know, all I ask, I'm a very simple man to please. Seriously. Seriously. I don't like extravagant meals. I don't like to be taken out, wined and dined. Give me a nice bottle of craft beer. Give me a nice simple pasta dish with a side of meatballs. I'm good to go, man. I'm good to go. I wear t-shirts all fucking winter. I don't wear these fucking fancy sweaters. I don't wear turtlenecks. I wear t-shirts, a fucking hoodie, and a baseball cap in the wintertime. Maybe a heavier jacket. Maybe. If I'm feeling it. I'm a simple human being. A simple human being. Okay? I don't understand the lack of effort on this show. I really don't. And it's just not with tonight's show. It's all year. It's a lack of effort all year. This show proved to you that WWE doesn't care about building months and months of storylines. This show proved to you that WWE shows massive favoritism to several on the roster. Meanwhile, the ones that the fans actually want to see succeed are buried. WWE continues to shit all over their non-existent tag team division. And WWE proves that they don't have a creative brain cell amongst 30 fucking writers on this show. All I ask is for creativity. Ever since the brand split went into effect in 2016, we've been given these remedial, these fucking childlike storylines. Oh, what, Raw's gonna invade SmackDown, or SmackDown's gonna invade Monday Night Raw, and then when the general manager doesn't know what the fuck is going on, then the commissioner of the show is gonna blame the general manager. Well, how did you let this happen? You're not doing your job correctly. You're 1 foot out the door. Rinse and repeat. Instead of these remedial storylines, can we get some fucking effort? Now, but WWE doesn't give a shit about the Survivor Series. It's one of the big 4 pay-per-views that I grew up watching. So WWE really doesn't give a shit about it because it's on the lower end of the totem pole when it comes to pay-per-views. So much so that Crown Jewel had more effort put into it than the Survivor Series. I wonder why. Or them pushing a fucking agenda with Evolution. I wonder why. That's more important. All because it's the Survivor Series. All because it's Raw versus SmackDown. That doesn't mean, oh, well, we got to get an invasion storyline going, or we got to get someone from SmackDown on Raw, or someone from Raw on SmackDown. No. If that is the case, if it's going to be forced, then I would have rather seen nothing. I would have rather seen nothing. I would have rather Monday Night Raw go off the air with Alexa Bliss announcing her god-awful fucking team for Survivor Series, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and not the beatdown of the entire Raw women's division by SmackDown's women's division. All because it's Survivor Series doesn't mean we have to get invasions. If you want to do that, I expect creativity. If you're not going to give me creativity, then don't bother. Why are you even in your position? The title that you have on your resume. Creative writer. If you aren't writing creatively for the audience, then what the fuck are you doing? And creativity is not, well, we'll have the SmackDown women's division sneak into the building. This should have been coming for months. Seeds should have been planted. This should have been months of anticipation. Now, but WWE gives it to you with 1 week left to go. And they expect me to be all excited because I'm seeing Charlotte Flair and Mandy Rose on Monday Night Raw. I'm seeing Asuka on Monday Night Raw. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Are we going to get a retaliation storyline where Raw invades SmackDown? Spare me the boredom. Spare me the simplicity. This is something that should have been built up over months. This is Raw versus SmackDown. Correct me if I'm wrong. Vince McMahon said he wanted direct competition between both of the shows. Man, his words fell on deaf ears. His words fell on his own deaf ears. Because clearly we're not getting any competition between the shows. We're only getting it a week out because, well, it's the Survivor Series. And it's got Raw versus SmackDown. You know, who's not going to get excited about Shinsuke Nakamura versus Seth Rollins? Or Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey? Or AOP versus The Bar, which I'm excited about. You know, or Lesnar versus Styles, which I'm excited about following their great match last year. Raw should have ended with Becky and Ronda. That was it. That armbar in the back, on the floor, in the locker room should have been it. Because more than likely, that will be the main event of Survivor Series, and rightfully so. Now, but WWE wants to give you rinse and repeat, same old shit from the last 2 years. Last couple years, it was the men. Then last year, it was the whole roster. And now this year, it's the women. What are we going to do next year? What are we going to do next year is the big question. I don't even think there's going to be a brand split next year. I don't even think Survivor Series has a Raw vs. SmackDown theme next year. Not with the Fox Sports deal looming in October. Creativity is all I ask, man. Creativity is all I ask. And WWE doesn't do it. And they only do it because they have to. It's a common theme with these people. They don't do something because they want to. They don't want to write to make the show as important as it should be. No, they write because they have to. They do these things because, well, we haven't done it yet. 1 week till the show. Why the fuck not? Let's fill 3 hours of television. Come on, man. If that is the best that you can come up with for a go-home show, I'd rather not even see what you did tonight. Monday Night Raw, also on top of lacking effort and creativity and having me sit on my couch on a regular Monday, scratching my head as always, did not have an overrun tonight. So I didn't sit there till 11:05, 11:10. In some instances, worst case scenarios, 11:15, 11:20. For what? I don't know. But the majority of the people are happy that Raw ends promptly at 11 p.m. Now, there are some in the community with a half a fucking brain that don't like this decision. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't know who the fuck watches this show and is going to complain ever when time is cut from Monday Night Raw. Are you mental? Seriously. Look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, am I a mental fucking idiot? I don't know who the fuck on this planet who watches this show weekly would ever complain about time being cut from Monday Night Raw. Oh, it's unpredictable. The overrun is unpredictable. You never know what's gonna happen. That's where the good stuff happens. They should be booking good stuff for 3 fucking hours. Especially with the talent that they have. You want to watch a fucking 15-minute overrun, you can barely get through 1 hour of this fucking garbage. How many people are actually going to stay up, legitimately, if you're not doing what I do? Stay up and watch a 15-minute fucking overrun on Monday Night Raw. I can think of several other things to do than fucking watch another 15 minutes after 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. I love it. Baby steps. 15-minute overrun was cut. Boom. Gone. Ending 11. Prompt. Now, we have to shave that last hour off the fucking show. And then, that's when we'll be knowing change is looming. But I love that. No more overrun. WWE now forced to leave shit off the show. WWE forced to make the show more compact. Instead of seeing a main event at 11:05, that main event is going on at 10:30. Good. Good. Makes them sweat a little. Man, what are we going to do? What are we going to leave out? Good. I love it. Fantastic. The best thing about the whole fucking show. The fact that it ended at 11 o'clock. Other than that, this Survivor Series build was half-assed and lazy. And we're going to go over all that, which eventually I'm expecting to hear tomorrow that Miss Lynch, the man, has a broken nose thanks to Miss Nia Jax. I would be shocked if Becky does not have a broken nose. Thanks to Miss Jax. But we'll go over all that and everything else that I've already complained about here in the open of this review. Monday Night Raw review. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It is November 12, 2018. This Sunday is the Survivor Series. I am actually excited about it, even though there's been a lack of effort on the build. I'm more excited about TakeOver. More than likely, TakeOver will destroy Survivor Series in every which way. But that is not, out of the norm. Usually with these TakeOver shows that accompany a major pay-per-view, it's usually the yellow brand that stands on top. I expect nothing less on Saturday night going into Sunday. But I will have the previews and the reviews of both shows this weekend on Off the Script. So make sure you guys tune in to all of that this weekend. Monday Night Raw started off with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman destroying the entire Monday Night Raw tag team division. Now, I appreciate WWE trying something different. I appreciate WWE starting the show off with a match. Not typically the match that I'd go with, but a match nonetheless. We get about 45 seconds in, and this big battle royal is going on, and Braun Strowman makes his way out to the ring. Now, immediately I thought, oh my fucking goodness, Braun Strowman is going to win the tag team battle royal, and Nicholas is going to be thrusted into a tag team championship opportunity once again. God fucking no. That did not happen. Thank God. But Braun Strowman comes out during this tag team battle royal and buried what was remaining of the Raw tag team division. Now, if WWE really wanted to do what they did in the opening of this show, why did you include the tag team battle royal? Why did you include all the tag teams on the... Was it necessary? Seriously, I am asking a legitimate question. And I honestly think if I sat down with somebody who booked this show tonight and I asked this question, I probably wouldn't even get a fucking answer. And if I did, it would be, well, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That's the type of answer I'd get. Was it really worth burying every single fucking team on your show to just go right into a segment in which you do normally every single week? For them to only do the Battle Royal in the third hour of the show anyway. Because the first thing I want to fucking see on Monday Night Raw is, man, who's gonna be on the Tag Team Survivor Series team for Raw? Or better yet, who's gonna captain the team? Because that was everybody's burning question going into tonight's show. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, so we'll bury the Revival. We'll bury the Ascension and Rude and Gable and the Lucha House Party and whoever else is fucking in the tag. The Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, Rhino and Slater. Yeah, just bury him. All for Braun Strowman and Stephanie McMahon and Baron Corbin. A segment that was probably a normal start to the Raw program. So, Braun Strowman is threatening to hijack Monday Night Raw as if he's Daniel Bryan during the Yes Movement. Now, he wants what he wants. He wants Baron Corbin. But Stephanie McMahon tells him, listen, I am the boss here. And you're going to do what I say. So let's make some sort of business agreement. You do what I want, and I'll give you anything that you want. So Braun Strowman and Stephanie McMahon go at it on Monday Night Raw. And this is the opening of the show.
Tonight's Monday Night Raw episode is brought to you by the Monster Among Men. I'm not leaving this ring until Corbin gets these hands.
Listen, Braun, I understand that you are upset after what Baron Corbin did to you in your Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar. And you have every right to be.
She didn't mention
but
where.
You cannot hold Raw hostage. Listen, my brother Shane...
Look, I don't give a damn about Shane. And I don't give a damn about representing you at Survivor Series.
Well, I do give a damn. And as the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, you and everyone else on this roster better give a damn too.
I know when someone's trying to manipulate me, so enough talking. Bring your little lapdog Corbin out here so I can get this over with.
Now, Team Raw has defeated Team SmackDown the past 2 years in a row. And when you lead our team to victory again this Sunday night, you can have whatever you want.
I want another Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar.
Done.
Just like that.
But before that, I want Baron Corbin.
Done.
I want to pick the stipulations.
Done.
You make sure Corbin signs a waiver so
They
I'm not
do it
responsible
for
the
Strowman.
damages.
That might take a little more time. I need to run it by the lawyers, but I'm confident I can get it done. On one condition. You don't lay a hand on Baron Corbin until after Survivor Series.
Because everybody is just so enthralled by that match.
You need to prove that you are a proud member of the Raw roster, and then you can have whatever you want.
Well, I better, because if I don't, I'm going to WWE headquarters and I'll destroy the whole building.
Good, burn it down. I'd pay to see that.
You can save the pep talks.
And Ronda Rousey comes out.
There's nothing you could say, nothing could offer me to make me more motivated than I already am. I've been waiting for a challenge like Becky Lynch since I came to the WWE, and I am so tired of hearing the man threaten to rip my arm off. I really can't wait to show the man how it's really done. Maybe I don't have to wait.
Look, I'm with Stephanie and we need to focus all of our aggression towards Shane McMahon and SmackDown.
So Ronda wanted to attack Stephanie and teach Becky a lesson by attacking Stephanie. Then Corbin comes out and kind of mediates the entire thing.
Look, Ronda.
Puts his hand on Ronda.
Good, man.
She throws him down to the ground.
Ronda let her actions do the talking.
And she walks out.
That's got to be humiliating.
With Strowman and Corbin staring face to face and Stephanie getting in between.
You don't wait until Survivor Series. You can't have him. Shut up! Shut up! You can have him. Remember our deal. Get out of this ring. Could you get out of the ring, please?
And Corbin, enjoy your time being Stephanie's lapdog, because after Survivor Series, I'm gonna neuter you.
I did like that line. I did like that line. But you can see that WWE is moving on from McIntyre and Strowman. Because that was the program. That was going to be set up for TLC. It was going to run through the Survivor Series. And they might still have some sort of issue at Survivor Series. And I'm sure WWE will address that while they're all on the same team. He, Strowman, and Ziggler, right? And now they're moving away from that with a proposed match to happen at TLC, and they're replacing that with Strowman and Corbin. Because they send new advertisements to the arena, wherever TLC is taking place, and they send new match listings for what is going to be at TLC, and one of them includes Strowman and Corbin. Man, I can't wait for that. That should be a barn burner, said no one, ever. Listen, you know, I enjoy me some Braun Strowman. I do. Okay? I've been a little, I've been a little hard on him. Just a little bit. But the fact remains that WWE, and I'm sure everybody feels the same way about Strowman, that they failed to pull the trigger on him, and they've waited too long. And the only reason why he is being positioned the way he is right now is because Roman Reigns is out. So, if you didn't want Strowman then, why are you going to force him on us now? All because Roman is not there? I don't like that at all. I don't like that mentality. Now, there are others who are much better off than Braun Strowman. But the fact remains that Strowman was ruined all through 2017. And I talked about this on Fridays off the script. Ruined to a point where I don't want to see him chase a title. I don't want to see him be the conquering hero. I don't want to see him become the conquering babyface. I don't want to see him in another match against Brock Lesnar. He lost once, then he lost twice. A third time is not going to get me interested. Your best bet is to move on to someone else. Strowman has nothing else left on Monday Night Raw. And if I'm a betting man, I bet we don't get another match between Strowman and Lesnar one-on-one. Something happens between the Survivor Series and TLC to a point that Braun Strowman is not going to get his match, and the deal that he made with Stephanie is going to fall through the cracks. Because Lesnar's not advertised for anything after Survivor Series. He's not advertised for TLC. He's not advertised for the Royal Rumble as of yet. Don't even think they need him at the Rumble. They only put the title on him so that he can walk into UFC with the WWE Universal Championship against Daniel Cormier. That was it. That was their best bet. They went with what is comfortable to them. They went with what is going to make them the most money right now. Braun Strowman does not factor into anything interesting in my eyes. Nothing. If there was an instance in which you wanted to put the title on him, then it should have been last year. You didn't do it. And you prolonged it because you put all those eggs in the Roman basket. And now that Roman is not there, You hope that one of those eggs hatched into a beautiful chicken. And they all went stale. Every single egg you put in that Roman basket went fucking stale. And now you're looking at Braun Strowman. You ain't gonna eat a stale egg. Strowman was one of those eggs. You ain't gonna touch it. You know where they go? In the fucking dumpster. Just like everything else that went bad during this Roman agenda. Wasted. I'm moving on. Strowman and Corbin can have whatever fucking bullshit feud that they want. But Strowman winning a world title? Fuck that. I'd rather see McIntyre win the world title. I'd rather see Elias win the world title. I'd rather see fucking Finn Balor win the world title. We're talking about ex-Universal Champions. I mean, I don't know why this guy wasn't in consideration to be rebuilt and brought back to a position to a point where he never even lost the championship. He never lost the Universal Championship. Why wasn't he ever in discussion to win the Universal Championship? I don't know. They'd rather have Finn Balor a fucking walking Aquafresh ad. Smiley Finn. Right next to him is a fucking human toothpaste tube with a dancing Listerine and him doing the Finn pose. Can you imagine that? That is a perfect fucking ad for don't forget to brush your teeth. Right before bed, kids. You got a walking Aquafresh tube, a dancing Listerine, and then Finn Balor doing that. They'd rather have him do that than actually wrestling on this show or in anything important on this show. I'm done with Braun Strowman. If it's not McIntyre, then I don't really give a shit at this point. And who the fuck knows what the landscape of Monday Night Raw is going to be after January anyway. We probably, there is a strong chance, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is a strong chance that, there are several elite superstars coming to WWE. And who's to say that they won't be factoring into WrestleMania plans? Just throwing it out there. Probably not. And for their sake, they better stay where they are. But we don't know what's going to happen. This is truly a week-by-week scenario. But Strowman, I'm done. I've been done. I am done. I have zero interest in Braun Strowman. Ember Moon. We've seen her versus Nia Jax for the last couple of weeks. So what does WWE do? Oh, well, who attacked? Who attacked Ember Moon last week? It was Tamina? Yeah, we'll put her in a match with Tamina. If I didn't want to see Ember Moon versus Nia Jax, what makes you think I want to see her versus someone who is even worse than Nia Jax in Tamina? I don't understand the lack of effort with Ember Moon. Ember Moon versus Tamina, and Tamina wins with the Snooker Splash. I'm going to say this very kindly. WWE does not deserve Ember Moon's services. They don't. Truly. Truly a wasted talent on this show. The women's revolution is a fucking joke. A joke. When was the last time? I seriously want. There'll be some analyst out there. There'll be some fucking statistician out there who's gonna answer my question, and please do so. When was the last time Tamina Snuka won a singles match on Monday Night Raw? And then I follow it up with this question. Was there no one else on the roster that Tamina Snuka could have looked dominant against in a singles match? You had to have it be Ember Moon. Alicia Fox wasn't doing anything? Dana Brooke wasn't doing anything? But did Titus bake cornbread tonight? How many pieces of cornbread did Dana Brooke have stuffed in her mouth? Couldn't drag her from catering to take a fucking beating. Now, it had to be Ember Moon, though, right? Fuck out of here, man. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. How Ember Moon jobbed out. And this is an evolution, right? An evolution means that you're advancing you're pushing forward with this great movement. When I see the likes of Nia Jax and now Tamina, who has done nothing important for years. Yeah, you got fucking pussies like Ryan said, oh, I can't wait to see Tamina on Monday Night Raw. Who the fuck wants to see Tamina on Monday Night Raw? No one. No one. Why she's even employed, why she's in a ring, why she's beating Ember Moon is beyond disgraceful. This is a fucking joke if I ever seen one. Ember Moon is better off in NXT. Ember Moon is better off in Ring of Honor. Ember Moon is better off anywhere than Monday Night Raw. A true waste of talent. And then there's a report on Off the Script this weekend that I reported from PW Insider. The reason why they're not pushing Ember Moon is because they don't want to risk pushing her to the top only to be fed to Ronda Rousey. Well, whose fault is that? And then I read a report today where Ronda Rousey stated that I didn't really need a title. I could have been the Roddy Piper of the women's division. Roddy didn't need a title to be important. Well, look at that. You got a damn good woman with a big brain on Monday Night Raw who's telling you the right thing to do, yet you don't do the right thing. Ronda never needed the championship. Ronda never needed the championship, people. Ronda is only the champion to enhance Charlotte Flair. We gotta get Charlotte to be the Roman Reigns of the women's division. I am the queen. I will defeat Ronda Rousey at Mania. It's the only reason why Ronda Rousey is the champion. It's the only reason why Ronda holds that title. Yeah, we're getting the match with Becky. Yeah, we're getting, Ronda and her name to legitimize this fucking fantasy that she's bringing to the Evolution or the women's division, but it's not. It's not. It's all in your brains. It's all a fucking mirage. Ronda Rousey is just like everybody else. She's the female Brock Lesnar, not in terms of not showing up, but the fact that you put a title on somebody when they didn't need a championship, because now you strapped the title to her and left everybody else without something to fight for. Thus, the product is Ember Moon. You see what I did there? Do I not make sense? Or am I just blowing smoke out of my ass? Or are you just too afraid to admit what is going on here? Ember Moon, if I was Ember Moon, I would be laying my head down to sleep tonight, crying and praying to get off this fucking program. Disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. Dean Ambrose. He gives us, finally, a reason as to why he turned his back on both his Shield brothers. Now, Seth Rollins was in the ring with Corey Graves doing an interview on Monday Night Raw tonight. Graves was in the ring, and all of a sudden we see Dean Ambrose pop up on the Titantron. Now, it was pretty fucking cheesy as to what WWE had Dean Ambrose doing in said promo. He was literally in the parking lot of the arena tonight, sitting on top of a red car. I don't know what type of car it was. It didn't look like a fucking sports car like I thought initially it was. It was some cheap fucking rental. And he was sitting next to a burning oil can. Now, if they really wanted to, I guess, highlight the effect of this promo, the promo should have been done in a literal back alley on a cold fall night and with the burning oil barrel next to him. There should have been dumpsters and graffiti behind him. No. How do we make Dean Ambrose look even more cheesy? on Monday Night Raw. We'll put him in the parking lot and put a burning oil can next to him just to give it that ambiance. As little effort as possible. Please. That was the directive from Gorilla. From Vince. The setting was terrible. Letting you know right now, the setting of this promo was terrible. I'm hoping that Dean Ambrose fits into this role. Now, we really haven't seen much of anything outside of silence and a few dirty deeds. If I'm not seeing something reminiscent of Tommaso Ciampa, then they're doing it all wrong. The guy needs to be a fucking lunatic. He needs to channel that inner Brian Pillman. I'm not talking about the Brian Pillman that's going to pull a gun out on Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm talking about Brian Pillman. The guy who is just lost mentally, laughing maniacally, doing whatever the fuck he wants, while realizing he don't know what he's doing. And everybody around him looking and just bewildered at his behavior. Even his own wife, Renee Young, don't know what the fuck's going on. She mentioned tonight, he's talking in riddles. He's not making sense. Build on that. I don't want Dean to be this cheesy, half-assed, PG lunatic. Nah. You're going to have to do more than burn a shield vest on Monday Night Raw, my friend. The guy needs to channel his inner Brian Pillman, his inner Mankind, something. The guy needs to be a fucking lunatic. Like Nikki Cross-like lunatic. That's what he needs to do. So Dean Ambrose sets his shield vest on fire while giving us, I guess, a reason as to why he did what he did on the night Roman announced he would be taking an indefinite leave of absence to battle leukemia.
I think it's obvious that Dean Ambrose is the subject of most of your focus right now, but let me tell you, from watching Shinsuke on SmackDown Live every week, if your head's not in the game, Shinsuke's gonna take it clean off.
Look, don't get me wrong. This Sunday, when the bell rings, I'm gonna be laser focused on Nakamura. But that's Sunday. And this is tonight. And tonight in Kansas City, I want answers. I want to know. I want to know, why did Dean Ambrose do what he did to me, to Roman Reigns, to all of us? That's where my head's at right now.
Listen, you and I have both known Dean Ambrose for a long time. Dean's never had a great way with words. He usually uses his actions to do most of the talking.
We have known Ambrose for a long time, and he's not a stupid guy. Dean Ambrose knows exactly why he did what he did. He's just not man enough to come out here and tell me.
Man enough to come say it. Don't ever accuse me of not being man enough to do anything. I'm man enough to get out of this cold, come into that arena, and beat the holy hell out of you right now. But I'm not gonna do that. Because you all don't deserve that. I don't know you an explanation. I don't know these people an explanation. I don't know anybody anything. You're people. These people who want to come up to me on the street looking like they could use a shower. These people with no manners. They want to spit on me, call me names, throw things at me with their, "Why, Dean? Why did you turn your back on your brothers? Why this night of all nights?"
Now, WWE stereotyping their fan base through Dean Ambrose. Great.
Your architect doesn't have all the answers this time, does he? What do you want to know, Seth? Are you wondering maybe I shouldn't have talked to Dean like he was an imbecile so much? Shouldn't have treated him like a charity case so much? Are you wondering maybe, did something go wrong? What changed with Dean? Or maybe you're realizing Dean Ambrose has been the same guy this whole time. I was just too selfish and too self-absorbed to see anything else that was going on around me. Maybe I regret my actions. Maybe I am remorseful. Maybe I hope that one day my brothers can forgive me for what I have done. No, that's not it. The truth is, I used to think the Shield was stronger together. I used to think that this symbol made me strong. I used to think that wearing this made me strong. But the truth is, the Shield made me weak. You made me weak. Roman made me weak. The burden of being your brother, the burden of having to watch your back made me weak. But every day is a new day. A chance to be reborn. A chance to take the past.
So he pours gasoline on the vest, throws the vest into the burning oil can.
And burn it down.
So that was that. It's a simple answer. Ambrose felt Rollins was making him weak. Ambrose felt Reigns was making him weak. Ambrose felt the Shield was making him weak. That is all the answer you need. That is all the explanation that he has to put forth. Because everything he said rings true. Ambrose was the weak link of the team. Nobody gave a shit about him when he came back. I mean, I'm talking about Rollins and Reigns. They only associated with him because they have to. Because they're brothers. Did they call? Did they check up? Did they mention Ambrose while he was away? Rollins, for fuck's sake, went on to replace Ambrose without uttering a word and winning a tag team title with somebody else. Rollins went on to have the best run of his fucking WWE career with the Intercontinental Championship without Dean Ambrose. Dean was only brought back to be a shield for Roman Reigns. So, of course, why would he stay with Reigns and Rollins, knowing that he was the most insignificant one of the three? Rollins is Monday Night Rollins. He's the Intercontinental Champion. Rollins was using him as protection so that he could beat Dolph Ziggler for the title. Dean was only there to back up Roman while he became the Universal Champion, shielding him from everybody else so that Roman has a successful run. Beautiful. Everything that was happening in that Shield unit was making Ambrose weak. They didn't mention everything that I mentioned specifically, but you don't really need them to, because it's right there in front of you if you just want to open your eyes. Now, WWE probably won't word it the way that I did, but that's the reason why. So, Rollins and Nakamura at Survivor Series. Ambrose is not booked for Team Raw. Ambrose is not booked in anything. I fully expect Rollins to get beat by Nakamura because of Dean Ambrose. Now, I would like a clean winner in most of these matches, but two things happen here. One, I don't know if that's going to happen because then you're probably going to have Dean Ambrose go against Raw and tack a win on for SmackDown Live, which I don't really see happening without any repercussions. But it also fits into the fact that he doesn't give a shit and he wants to embarrass Seth Rollins. And two, it would give Shinsuke Nakamura a win over a high-profile opponent in Seth Rollins, which I would like to see happen. But maybe he doesn't need to intentionally lay a hand on Seth Rollins. Maybe he'll just present himself in the audience to distract Seth Rollins, and then all the blame would come on Seth Rollins anyway for losing to Nakamura. So I think that's what's going to happen. Ambrose might not lay a hand on Rollins, but he still might be a factor in mentally fucking him up, so Nakamura gets the win. That's what I see happening on Sunday night. But there you go. Ambrose gave you somewhat of an explanation as to why he did what he did to his Shield brothers. So Drew McIntyre, if I can find the video, I want to play this promo because McIntyre and the way he delivered his promo was absolutely fucking brilliant. Drew McIntyre was in the ring with Dolph Ziggler, and a lot of things happened here to a point where it really opened my eyes as to where WWE is positioning Drew McIntyre and what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler after the fact. So I'm going to find the clip on WWE's YouTube channel, and hopefully we get the clip to play in its entirety so that you guys know what I'm talking about.
Last week, Kurt went into our match, an Olympic gold medalist, a WWE Hall of Famer, an icon, a national treasure, and when I was finished, he was nothing more than an embarrassment. He gave me everything. I can't take that away from him. He gave me everything he had, but you know what I saw when I looked into his eyes? I saw his will to win fading. I saw his realization that he was in the ring with a superior man, and he tried to fight, and inevitably he was crawling on his hands and his knees. And you know what happened next? He started crying. Crying. I have never been more disgusted in my entire life.
Oh, I have. Just watched this show on a Monday night, week after week.
Kurt Angle and put him down with his own ankle lock. Look at me. Look into my eyes.
We're looking at a beast. That's what we're looking at.
Raw is my show now.
You know, listening to you talk about how you took no joy from what you done to Kurt last week, that was just too much for me to sit back there and listen to. Last week, you crossed the line.
Dignity is not a right reserved for all, buddy. I could have done so much worse to Kurt, but I chose not to. But you're not out here for that, are you? You're upset because I kicked your little head off. You thought I was coming to save you from big bad Bobby Lashley out of some kind of European pride. Mate, you are exactly what is wrong with this place. There are so many superstars like you. You're so concerned with your feelings and your emotions. It makes me sick. So do me a favor, turn around, march up that aisle, and go cry to your little Balor Club and maybe two sweet.
Shut up! I've been dealing with bullies like you my whole life. So how about I stick to what I know? You and me in a match right here, right now.
This is not the end of the segment, because whatever McIntyre said after that kind of really positioned Dolph Ziggler and gave you a glimpse of Dolph Ziggler's future. But as far as Balor and McIntyre go, man, I'm listening to these two go back and forth, and I'm asking myself, why? Why isn't this the main program on the show right now for the Universal Championship? WWE should have positioned Finn Balor to win the Universal Championship and build him up following the fact that he never lost the championship to begin with. We would have gotten Finn Balor versus AJ Styles 2 out of it. We could have seen the Demon reemerge at the Survivor Series against AJ Styles in a match that wouldn't be booked on the fly and have AJ Styles fly in fucking 12, 13 hours from South America just to make the fucking TLC show last year. Right? That's exactly where the main program should be. In Balor and McIntyre's hands. Look at the intensity of these two. Look at the back and forth between these two. McIntyre, I truly believe, could bring out the best in Balor, and Balor would be a very formidable opponent for Drew McIntyre as a babyface. It's about time we start building Finn Balor up to the point where we need him to be. I don't understand, and I question this every time I see him on Monday night. What was wrong with Balor coming out of NXT that you needed to just completely go 180 on him? He is not the same guy anymore. He is a corporate fucking puppet who comes out wearing colorful fucking t-shirts, smiling, and we see nothing but crotch shots of him on Monday Night Raw. Where's the Balor that you built up in NXT to be a fucking stud, a superstar, a guy that could carry a brand, a guy that you made us all believe in with a alternate personality? A personality, mind you, that is a huge selling point. They gone away from that. What are you selling me on with this fucking guy? Are you selling toothpaste? Or are you selling me a guy that could potentially be a crown piece to a show on Monday or Tuesday nights? Choice is yours. So when I look at these two, I look at a program that could lead a show on Monday or Tuesday nights. But with Balor, it's very difficult to invest our time into him. It's very difficult to invest time into Balor any night the way he's been booked on Monday Night Raw. Now, the most telling thing about this was not Balor or McIntyre. They were great. But it came after the fact when McIntyre said something indirectly about Dolph Ziggler. And Dolph Ziggler was looking at McIntyre as like, are you fucking kidding me? So, listen to what McIntyre says here.
I don't know what's more fragile, your feelings or your body. But if you want a match, you've got a match. I mean, not with me. You're gonna have a match with the man, no matter what Shane McMahon likes to think, is the true best in the world, Dolph Ziggler. And if you can defeat somebody like Dolph, maybe, just maybe, I'll consider lowering myself to your level.
So what Drew McIntyre was saying there is that Ziggler is the Marty Jannetty to his Shawn Michaels. It's pretty much what he said without actually saying it. So if he could beat Dolph Ziggler, then, and only then, will McIntyre come off his perch and then lower himself down to his level. Or he could have been indirectly mentioning, well, Balor, you're a fucking vanilla midget, you're short, and then maybe I'll fight you if you could beat Dolph Ziggler. Maybe it was just one of those short jokes that WWE likes to throw at guys like Finn Balor. I don't know. But the way I interpret it was he was pretty much telling Ziggler that you're my Marty and I'm your Shawn. So I'm the star here, you're not. Even though you are robbed of the best in the world hashtag. But Balor and McIntyre probably going to happen at TLC. There'll probably be some dissension there at the Survivor Series when they go against SmackDown. And that's going to be the program leading into TLC, no question. Because they moved Braun Strowman on to Baron Corbin, so they had to do something with Drew McIntyre, and he's going to be put in a program with Finn Balor. Simple as that. Very, very simple. But Dolph Ziggler went against Finn Balor, and Finn Balor beat Drew McIntyre. Finn Balor beat Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry. He won't beat Drew McIntyre, but he did beat Dolph Ziggler. So, Balor, after headlocks and Ziggler working on him, Balor finally gets some momentum going. McIntyre tries to interfere, but it backfires. Balor sends Ziggler out next to Drew on the outside. Balor nails his big signature suicide dive over the top rope, taking both guys out. Balor then goes to the top for the coup de grace. He's forced to land on his feet as Ziggler moves out of the way. Balor plays possum and kind of sells a leg injury, but gets a roll-up out of nowhere on Dolph Ziggler, and Finn Balor wins against Dolph Ziggler. After the match, Balor is celebrating as he heads up the ramp, and Drew was not happy whatsoever. So Balor is backstage after the match. Stephanie McMahon comes over. She congratulates Balor for standing up for what he believes in. And she gives him a spot on the Men's Raw Survivor Series team. Corbin did not like this decision. He wanted to talk to Stephanie about it elsewhere in private. McIntyre and Ziggler walk up looking for Finn Balor because they want to fight. Stephanie says, "Back off. This is my show." So she then goes on and says that you all better get on the same page for Sunday. After that, you could all tear each other apart. I don't care. So for Sunday, she wants everybody to be buddy-buddy. So Balor gets added to Survivor Series. So we get Ronda Rousey. If I could find this promo, I'd love to play this as well. And yes, here it is on WWE's YouTube channel. Ronda Rousey cut a decent promo, and she rips into the man, Becky Lynch, on Monday Night Raw tonight to sell her match at the Survivor Series.
Ronda, strong words from your opponent at Survivor Series, Becky Lynch. How do you respond to that?
Well, I mean, she's the man. She's the man, and she really can dish it out. But Becky should know that I wasn't trying to offend her or mock her past or path to becoming champion or anything like that. I mean, I was just trying to point out how ridiculous her threats of ripping my arm off are. I mean, well, she was learning the alphabet, I was learning arm bars. While she was learning how to juggle, I was learning arm bars. While she was learning that the exit is sometimes behind you, yeah, I was learning arm bars. I really can't believe that I have to take the time to point all of this out. I mean, yeah, Becky can dish it out, but she sure isn't that good at taking it. I mean, Becky, you are so hypersensitive. You're not just the man, you are the millennial man. You are the skinny jeans wearing, V-neck sporting, avocado toast munching, winged shoe wearing millennial man with a bubble-wrapped ego and a porcelain self-perception. Someone needs to tell the man that I am not Charlotte Flair. Raw is not SmackDown, and being offended doesn't make you right. So you can put the violins away, champ. You are not Oliver Twist, and I'm not some trust fund baby golden child. Okay, every fan that I got has watched me sweat for every single ounce of their respect. They've watched me bleed for every little inch of progress. They've watched me mourn every single setback, and I sure as hell didn't pour my heart and soul into changing the meaning of fight like a girl so the leader of the women's evolution could call herself the man.
Well, we just want to wish you good luck at Survivor Series. Thanks. Go get him, champ.
Man, the sight of Nia Jax and Tamina just disgusts me, man. But Ronda Rousey cut a very good promo. I'm not really going to say anything bad about it. It got its point across. I like when Ronda gets fucking rowdy. I like when Ronda gets fired up. And it's just good television. The one thing, I mentioned this last week, the one thing that I feel that Ronda needs to work on is I feel like her delivery, I feel there's just something off minor in the delivery. If she can fix this minor issue with the delivery and, You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know if she's just trying too hard. I don't know what it is. I know there's a report that Paul Heyman is sitting down with her, writing her promos with her, and, you know, helping her along the way. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's too many words. I don't know if she's trying too hard with the wording of her promos. You know, maybe it's a mixture of that, just a little bit, with a little bit of the delivery being off. Simple's best. Simple is best. So, I appreciate what Ronda is trying to do, and she's coming along. It's not like Ronda is regressing. Ronda is definitely progressing. It's just that in some instances, she's off on a few things. And I hope that she can correct those. But other than that, it was a good promo. But the sight of Nia Jax and Tamina sickened me to a point where I am nauseous, and no one gives a shit about a Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey match at TLC. Zero interest. I don't care. I didn't care the first time, and I didn't care going into this second match. Don't care. Don't care about her winning the Battle Royal. Don't care about her being #1 contender. I don't care. There's much better to do with Ronda and her title reign than fucking Nia Jax and Tamina. Moving on. Ruby Riott and Natalya. Well, you mean to tell me someone of the Riot Squad didn't fight a Sasha or Bayley combination? Holy shit. Are my eyes deceiving me? So, Ruby's in the ring with a microphone. She wants to apologize for last week's actions. So, she shows us what happens when she broke Jim the Anvil Neidhart's glasses that Natalya took to the ring last week. Now, Riot goes on about the backlash that she's received. She praises Neidhart and talks about what he was to the business. Riot is acting like she's crying. And the crowd starts to get on her case. They start to boo her. Riot says she humiliated Natalya on worldwide TV, and she enjoyed every bit of it. So Ruby changes her tune and now says that she didn't take it far enough last week. So the Riot Squad has had to fight for everything they got in the WWE, which I still don't know what is. What did they fight for? What are they fighting for? What is the meaning of their matches every week with Sasha Banks and Bayley? Who is it helping? Where is it going? Who is it elevating? These are questions that do not have any answers whatsoever. So, the Riot Squad wanted Natalya to feel raw emotion. Riot goes on and says Anvil wore those glasses because he was ashamed to look at his own daughter. So out comes Natalya. Riot waits for a fight, but Natalya comes to the ring from behind and beats her down. Liv hits the ring, but Natalya dropped her. Logan comes in, and then obviously the numbers game catches up to Natalya as they triple team her. Logan lifts Natalya and holds her up as Riot runs the ropes and delivers one of the worst heart attacks. The signature tag team move of Brett and Anvil. One of the worst heart attacks I have ever seen. Ever seen. If you're not going to do it correctly, don't do it at all. Now, I love me some Ruby Riott, man. I think she's fucking great. Another woman who is being held down by the fucking corporate machine because Ronda Rousey is handcuffing that entire division by hijacking the Raw Women's Championship. There's no reason why Ruby Riott and how great she is should not be a world champion by now in that division. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Riot's great. The rest of them I don't really give a shit about. But Riot is great. And she's one of many reasons why I feel like this women's evolution is a fucking joke. You got women like Ember and Ruby who WWE are just waiting on. They're not doing anything with them. Forced into the same repetitive shit every single week because they have nothing else to fight for. It's truly disgusting, man. Tag Team Battle Royal. The winner are the team captains to go against SmackDown Live at the Survivor Series. I'm waiting for people who actually give a shit about this. And I'll probably be waiting until after Survivor Series, nobody gave a shit about this. Nobody. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable won. They are the team captains for Monday Night Raw. So, you go from potentially breaking this team up to giving them team captains, winning a useless battle royal. Two things here. One, actually three things here. One, Bobby Roode is disgusting to look at. I can't fucking stand him. He is the absolute definition of fucking cringe. Number two, what is it with these tag team battle royals that WWE does? They got all the tag teams in the ring, and then the ruling of these things are, if one member of said team is eliminated, then that means both guys are eliminated. How the fuck is that fair? So, if I'm Dawson, if I'm Scott Dawson, and I get eliminated, if I'm Dash Wilder, how the fuck do you think I'm feeling? Well, my feet didn't hit the fucking floor. Why is the team eliminated? WWE doesn't think. That is the dumbest fucking rule I think I have ever seen in any match that they have put on. I fucking hate it. It makes no sense. If you're going to deliver such a stupid match with a stupid stipulation, I'd rather not even fucking see it. And who do you think this fucking match came down to? Bobby Roode and Chad Gable versus the fucking Ascension. They can't get away from them. Can't get away from them. So Bobby Roode and Chad Gable win. If you're looking at this, seriously, if you are writing for this show and you're looking at this and you find no issues, no problems with this whatsoever, you clearly are a fucking buffoon. Like, I honestly don't know how anyone in this company is looking at this division and finds no problems. This is your current state of the tag team division, and there's no fucking fix. Fix it. I say it every fucking week. How do you look at this division and assemble a team to go up against the Usos and the New Day and whomever else is going to be announced on SmackDown Live tomorrow night? Seriously. If SmackDown Live doesn't clean sweep this fucking team, there's no hope. There's no hope. So not only do these teams get buried in the opening segment by Braun Strowman, then we get Chad Gable and Bobby Roode winning in a worthless battle royal for a spot as team captains at Survivor Series in a match that nobody gives a shit about. In a division that is fucking worthless. It's been deemed worthless for fucking months now. Awful. Absolutely fucking awful. Paul Heyman's in the ring. Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar are in the ring. Lesnar actually showed up to work. He's in the ring praising Lesnar. Says he's the only one that deserves the Universal Championship. Congratulations to the champ. Strowman is trying to get back into the title picture. And he took so many F5s, right? So, Heyman goes on to say, you know, Lesnar's the only one that deserves congratulations. Strowman, for getting back in the title picture. SmackDown, avoiding the beating that the WWE Champion will be getting at Survivor Series, and to AJ Styles. Fans start chanting for AJ. Heyman rants and mentions last year's Styles vs. Lesnar match of the year. Heyman says AJ will check into Hotel California, fly up to the penthouse, marked Suplex City, and take a beating of a lifetime. Then he went on to say, Google it, bitches. I'm not here to educate. Sounds like me. Heyman goes on, and Jinder Mahal comes out with the Singh brothers. Now, at this point, I'm asking myself, why? So Jinder comes down and wants to give Heyman and Lesnar some advice. Do not underestimate Styles. Jinder says last year at Survivor Series he was focused on getting the match with Lesnar, but AJ stole the title and the match from him. Jinder says he's here to offer services to help Brock Lesnar focus on AJ. Jinder says he can show the beast his mantra. Heyman mocks Jinder Does that little roll of the tongue that he used to do. And I hope that it's a sound clip somewhere. Jinder says he can help Brock. Lesnar tells him, come on in the ring. Lesnar physically said, come on in. Come on in. Lesnar's laughing. Jinder gets on the apron, gets into the ring, is doing Shanti. And he's breathing in Shanti. Right? So, Lesnar's there. He's doing the whole fucking thing with the hands, and he's breathing in. He's breathing out. Looks over at Paul Heyman. Come over here. Come over here. You want to get involved with this mantra? You're Jewish. I don't know what the fuck that meant, but I laughed. I laughed out loud, actually. Get over here. You're Jewish. Heyman was laughing. Lesnar was laughing. Everybody's laughing. Jinder's a joke. Jinder's a joke. So, after this thing, after Lesnar stops laughing, he demolishes Jinder with a fucking clothesline. And when I tell you, I don't know who the fuck it was, both of them, but one of them received much more punishment than the other one. The first Singh brother he threw, I don't know who he was, but he landed on his fucking neck to a point where I honestly thought his neck was going to snap in half. He landed on his neck. Lesnar threw him so fucking hard that this guy, I swear to God, man, if he's not in a neck brace next week, consider yourself lucky. He did this to both Singh brothers, man. Literally threw them around like fucking garbage bags. Holy shit. Then he goes outside and gives Jinder Mahal an F5 on the concrete. They got bodied. Big time. It was great. Now, Jinder is a joke. And if you need any further proof of that, there you go. Because they sent him out there to get fucking slaughtered at the altar. Love it. Bobby Lashley versus Elias. I don't know what to say here, man. I don't know what to say here whatsoever. Bobby Lashley is a mock Lex Luger. He's a mock narcissist. Comes out wearing sunglasses. Nothing spells grade A douche than wearing sunglasses inside at night. It's Bobby Lashley. Starts flexing in the ring. Starts showing off his pecs. Then he bends over and starts showing everybody his ass. Again. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Bobby Lashley, but I'm not liking it. I'm not finding it interesting whatsoever. So he goes on to fight Elias. The best thing about Elias tonight was the fact that he was on the phone, and he was on the phone with Child Services, and he was pretending as if Lio Rush was a 10-year-old boy lost who was being sexually, I guess, manipulative towards Bobby Lashley. That was very funny. So whoever wrote that into the script for Elias, I got to give you a slow golf clap for that one. I really enjoyed that. That was pretty humorous. But what wasn't humorous was the ending of this match. Bobby Lashley wins by countout because Lashley was on the outside with Elias. He gets back into the ring. Elias tries to follow, but Rush was underneath the ring, and he was holding Elias's leg. Reminded me of WrestleMania 5 with Bobby Heenan holding the Warrior's leg as he lost the Intercontinental Championship to the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior had his foot held by Bobby the Brain Heenan when he lost the Intercontinental Championship to Ravishing Rick Rude. So that's what that reminded me of. But Elias had his leg held by Lio Rush, and Lashley wins by countout. Now, I don't understand this outcome. Lashley is absolutely dead, and Elias is hot. So why wouldn't you put Elias on Team Raw? Why wouldn't you go with the hot hand over on Team Raw over the cold hand? This doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Elias, at every twist and turn, gets fucked. And they turned him into a babyface for a reason. Survivor Series is a great opportunity for said babyface to have a decent showing. Nothing will happen to Bobby Lashley. Nothing will benefit Bobby Lashley at Survivor Series. So why? Why are we getting Bobby Lashley over Elias? I don't know. One of the things that fucking angers me about this show. Miss Bliss comes out, finds herself in the main event, and she's fucking suffering from multiple concussions. Not even an active performer right now, and still finds herself in the main event. So, Bliss is out to announce her picks for the Women's Survivor Series team. WWE had an opportunity to make the Women's Survivor Series team formidable. What they did was take the absolute very worst combination of superstars and give you a 5-woman team. So what they did was, instead of giving us a team of Sasha Banks, Bayley, Ember Moon, Ruby Riott, and maybe Mickie James. Maybe. Mickie James for sure. They gave you Nia Jax. They gave you Tamina. They gave you Ruby Riott. They gave you Mickie James. And they gave you Natalya. Those are the 5 women on the team. Let this sink in before I get the fuck out of here. Let it sink in. Tamina, who I don't know when she won her last singles match, is on the Survivor Series team over Ember Moon, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. I would put any combination of women, I would put any combination of the 3, Sasha, Bayley, and Ember, against Team SmackDown. You absolutely chose the worst combination of women you could have possibly chosen. You left off 3 of the best women's wrestlers in the entire company off the show. 1, I let it slide. 2, I'm getting a little bit more pissed. 3, that is fucking blatant as fuck to leave 3 of the best women wrestlers in your entire company off your Raw women's team. And WWE trolled us all. Trolled. They gave you the storyline to close this show that Alexa wanted to see who wanted it most. So much so that they would risk friendship over being on her Survivor Series team. So they gave you Sasha Banks versus Bayley to close this show. For nothing. For a spot on a meaningless Survivor Series team. They gave a match away to find out the final member of the Survivor Series team. A match that should realistically have been the title match and the biggest program in your division all year. You give it away on this show, and then you have it end in a no contest. A no contest. Not only did you troll everybody, you trolled Sasha, you trolled Bayley, and they were already buried to begin with. WWE just re-buried them. They took the shovel and dug more dirt on top of their fucking graves. Instead of being 6 feet deep, now they're 9 feet deep. Disgusting. Absolutely fucking disgusting. I don't know what else to say. That is the very best. If you don't think there's blatant favoritism in Monday Night Raw's creative or in WWE in general, you are a blind fucking fool. That is the absolute worst combination of women you could have chosen out of every possible combination. So, after the match, Sasha and Bayley are no longer there. Embarrassed. So Becky Lynch is shown in the back giving Ronda Rousey a disarm her. She has Ronda in the disarmer. Comes out and threatens the entire Raw SmackDown women's team. So Becky was used as a diversion. SmackDown's entire roster came out and attacked Raw's roster with Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox and everybody else that wasn't on the team coming out to just kind of aid in the attack. Now, along the way, Ronda Rousey came out and played off her injuries. She wanted to stand up for Raw, but she couldn't because of the disarmer. She was selling the aspect of the disarmer. Somehow in the rubble, somehow in the chaos, Becky Lynch was busted open hard way. Now, I went back and watched it. It looked like Nia Jax and Naomi were going back and forth in the corner. Becky Lynch went over to try and help Naomi and get Nia Jax off. I don't know if it was a punch. I don't know if it was a back elbow. I don't know if it was a forearm. I don't know what it was. But Becky Lynch came up bloodied as fuck. And they showed far away shots. They never got up close to it. But you seen visibly that Becky was bleeding profusely from her nose. It was all over her face and lips. So, I don't know what happened there. I was hoping that watching it, that it was maybe a gash on her face that just kind of smeared all over her face and dripped down the side of her face. But I'm hoping for the worst. Actually, no. I'm fearing for the worst, but hoping for the best. I hope it's just a gash. But I'm fearing that Becky has a broken nose. And if it's a broken nose, fuck Nia Jax. Fuck Nia Jax. This should have been avoidable. This should have been fucking completely just not an issue. I don't understand how Becky, who possibly could be in the main event of Survivor Series, is now, we don't even know until tomorrow morning or Wednesday when reports come out that she has a broken nose or if she's okay. So one of two things happen here. They go on with the match because it's the most heavily promoted match of the entire fucking show. So much so that, like I said, it might be the main event. The one match that everybody's looking forward to. It goes on, but gets cut in half, and we get a quick match with Becky losing. Or Becky comes out wearing a Cody Rhodes-like face mask and wrestles with a fucking broken nose. So you know Becky's going to be the center of attention right now for WWE. Just based on the fact that she could potentially have a broken nose. But this is the result of a lack of creativity. This is the result of a lack of creativity. Something that could have been avoided big time. You put her in that position, and all she really needed to do was give Ronda the disarm her. And here she is now with a potential broken nose. And a shitty fucking creative direction going into the Survivor Series. One that lacks effort. And one that we've seen for the last 2 years, ever since WWE started to do this Raw vs. SmackDown dual-branded pay-per-view at Survivor Series. Raw vs. SmackDown. It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. So that's the way Monday Night Raw went off the air, man. Poor Sasha and poor Bayley. They must be fucking hated in WWE for the fact that they are not even representing the Raw women's team. That is fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. You know what? They'll probably put them on the pre-show. They'll probably do Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. I guarantee you. Guarantee you. That's what they do. I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. Thank you guys so very much. That is your Monday Night Raw review. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that thumbs up, and I will see you guys on SmackDown Live with their go-home show for Survivor Series. Hit that thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter, @JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support through the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. And get your t-shirts, man. barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Code BSHOP20, 20% off. Get your new 100K subscriber commemorative t-shirt, man. Right now available exclusively on Barbershop Window. I'm getting out of here, guys. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you all right back here for SmackDown Live and their go-home show for the Survivor Series. I'll talk to you later.